Hey guys, Kent here from Think Trade Profit. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over a comparison of TD Ameritrade and Fidelity, specifically thinkorswim platform versus Active Trader Pro. I just opened up a TD Ameritrade account the end of last week, and they've had a lot of problems the last 2 days. They've had some serious issues. They were down a big chunk of yesterday, and today they were having problems right off the open as well. I had no trouble like over the weekend accessing the platform, and even pre-market was fine yesterday and today. I was watching some of the hot pre-market stocks and that kind of thing, but by the time the open came, things started crashing. So that's 2 days in a row. So I'm not really impressed with the stability, but one of the things I was curious about is a comparison of the level 2 quotes. I wanted to look at quotes, times and sales, and compare it to the speed of Fidelity and Fidelity Active Trader Pro. So what you see on the screen here is mostly Fidelity Active Trader Pro. This is the ladder DOM from thinkorswim, so depth of market, or I call the ladder. And there's a level 2 widget and a times and sales widget. And these seem to be running pretty well as we approach the close in the last hour of trading today. This is the first time in 2 days that I've actually had this up where it didn't crash. But even in pre-market and today, before starting this video, I noticed a huge disadvantage for TD Ameritrade users or thinkorswim users, and it's specifically around the level 2. So I'm going to go into that and I'm going to show you live. All right, so what I have up right now is Facebook, one of my favorite stocks to trade. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screen capture, kind of freeze a moment in time here, and we're going to look at the level 2 quotes, and I'm going to show you what I see. And I'm going to open this up in the image editor. So this doesn't look too bad, but there's a couple discrepancies. The first problem I see, and the quotes pretty much match up. So the level 2 on each side, the basic price, best bid and best ask are okay, but there's some stuff missing, and this is the big problem. In Active Trader Pro, these ECNs or the NASDAQ market participant or BATs, they will be represented multiple times if they have stock at multiple levels and are near the current price. So what am I saying? For example, look at the bid here in this picture. So here's thinkorswim. NASDAQ's on the bid at 262.85. NASDAQ's on the bid 262.85. Okay, that looks good. But look at the next level down on Active Trader Pro. NASDAQ's got stock at 262.84 as well. We see it in Fidelity and Active Trader Pro. There is 194 shares at 262.84. You guys don't have it. It's not here. And what I've noticed is for these ECNs or the market participants or what have you, you get one entry on the thinkorswim platform on each side, and that's it. Even if they're part or near part of the best bidder offer. What I mean is there's stock, you could sell stock, you could hit a bid of 84 cents right now on Fidelity if you needed to go below. You guys don't even see it. And the reason being is they only put one NASDAQ out there on each side. I don't know where this 89 is either. So if you look at the ask over in Fidelity Active Trader Pro, there's 39 shares at 262.89. It's not offered over here. There's nothing at 262.89. So you can say, well, this is a fractional share. Maybe they didn't put that up there. Okay, I get it. The other thing you're not seeing is it's not represented in the DOM either. I was thinking, well, maybe they do something funny with their level 2, but at least you would see it in the DOM. And the truth is you don't. There is no bid. This is the bid side of the DOM or the ladder. There is no stock shown being currently bid at 262.84, but it's right here in Fidelity Active Trader Pro, and it's in the NASDAQ market. Same side on the offer. There's some stock at, I didn't capture the entire quote. So yeah, we've lost some of the ladder here, so I can't make that point. But that's the example. That's what I want to drive home. So we're going to look at a couple different stocks, and I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, I don't super scalp. I don't need to know all that. You need the best information possible. You may not trade Facebook, but you may trade a small cap, and the small caps, sometimes those levels get deep. So I looked at some of the most actives. This was one of the ones in pre-market, this MICT. Let's take a look at it and just see if we can see the discrepancy. So that's more of a small cap name where you might want to see multiple levels because you might have multiple thousand shares. So I've got MICT up on both. Everything looks the same. Times and sales looks good. Here's the DOM. So let's take a shot. Here's NASDAQ, Edge, ARCA. Let me try to capture this just right. I don't think that was a good capture, but let's look at it. Like I didn't get NASDAQ in two places. That's what I was trying to do. All right, so let's compare. Well, this quote was a little bit off. NASDAQ's offering some at 511, and we don't see that here at all. There's no NASDAQ on the offer, so there is some stock offer cheaper at this point in time. And here's NASDAQ on the bid with Edge, and there's only 509 here. We have the 509 also. You can see it on Active Trader Pro. The second bid down for NASDAQ is 509, but it looks like there was also some at 510. And I'm looking at the times and sales. I didn't get the complete edge of that, but it looks close. Looks like Fidelity's a little bit ahead. See that 30 share lot? There's a 30 share lot in the 508. Fidelity's got 3 more prints from times and sales ahead of thinkorswim. But I don't see all the bids at 510. This would be 300 shares bid at 510 on Fidelity. There's only 200 in the DOM over here on thinkorswim. So that's a small cap. Let's look at a different one. Let's look at PXLW. The truth is, I looked at this in pre-market and I found this on quite a few stocks, large caps, small caps, what have you. I'm just gonna I didn't even really look at the screen, but I can already see some issues. This NASDAQ thing that I've been mentioning is gonna play here too, I think. All right, so let's look at the offer over here real quick. So at $2.35, there should be, I think this should be 4,900 shares. So maybe that's what that is. That looks okay. NASDAQ's there. Here's NASDAQ on the bid, NASDAQ, ARCA. Okay. All right, I don't see too much wrong with this. Other than, again, here's a depth thing. You can see in Active Trader Pro, there's a second, so NASDAQ's here bid at 234 with 500 shares. There's also NASDAQ with 900 shares at 233. Nowhere to be seen over here. There is no second NASDAQ entry. So this could happen with ECNs as well. ARCA, Edge, BATS, they're all very active. The market makers and the specialists, they use these to hide their true intent, and they use them at obviously more than one level. There's tons of stock flowing on these ECNs. So I think that thinkorswim users, based on the DOM and the level 2, they're not getting the depth of market that Fidelity Active Trader Pro users are. It's undeniable. Let's take a look at a couple more stocks. Let's see what else was popular today in, how about some biotech stock? PSTX. I'm pulling this off from the Stock Market Watch, some of the most actives, PSTX. So again, these would be smaller caps. This is where I think it's important. You want accurate depth. You're going to probably have to get out of 1,000 or 2,000 or whatever size you're trading. You're not just trading 100 shares or 500 shares. Let's just take a look. I didn't even glance at this, but once again, okay, so we got an offer. We've got 9, and then it jumps to 902, and then there's more at 902 on NASDAQ. You see 100 shares, 100 shares, and 103 shares at 902. There's no third entry. Same thing over here. You've got 898. We've got both of those. We've got Edge. Then ARCA is offering 895. Cool. BATS 895. Cool. And NASDAQ at 895 for 7,700 shares. 7,700 shares, the second best bid. It's not over here, and the reason being is they've got this design flaw or what have you. Maybe it's intentional, but it sucks. Wouldn't you want to know that there's 7,700 shares down at this level? It's the next best bid after 898. but instead you only see whatever this is. You see 100 shares at 898, and then you only see whatever that is, 2,100 shares, and there's actually 9,800. So I think that's pretty convincing. I just did this for you live, and I could pick pretty much any stock. How about something a little bit tamer like Citigroup? This is an NYSE stock, it's not a NASDAQ stock, so let's see if there's any kind of weird discrepancies. Okay, so NASDAQ on the offer, 5035. There's a whole bunch of offers here. That looks about the same. Let's look at the bid. ARCA, NASDAQ, that looks the same. 5034, 5034, there's the NASDAQ. Okay, so on that one it doesn't look too bad. We've got NASDAQ at 5033 though, and ARCA at 5033. Over here, for this level 2 quote from the NYSE, the specialist, there's nothing at 5033. So this goes from the best bid, which is 5034, all the way to 5032. All this, there's a bunch of stock here at 5033. There's like 2,600 shares, ARCA and NASDAQ. So that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you. Very surprising. It was the first time I ever had a chance to put these side by side. I'm normally a Fidelity user. Most of the people, subscribers on the channel, we have a big community of Fidelity Active Trader Pro users. But I wanted to give thinkorswim a shot. I wanted to take a look. So I opened up this account just to take a peek at it and kind of put the platform side by side. But honestly, price is really important to me. And having that extra information, the depth of market is really important to me. We approach the close, I can see things are speeding up in Facebook, so let's look at it one more time. So right here, this thing started moving really fast, right? Here's thinkorswim, 264.00. That looks good, the bids look good, but look at the offers. 2604, and then there's Edge here with 2604, and then there's nothing else till 2607. Look over here, you got NASDAQ, 2605. And then underneath that, you've got NASDAQ, 2607. It's not here. So that's what I wanted to share. I want to share it with the Fidelity community. Be happy with your quotes. Your level 2 is got more depth and more information than thinkorswim. And our platform's been up for the last 2 days too. We haven't had any problems. thinkorswim has just been crushed for whatever they did, whatever their updates were. You can check it out on Reddit, but it's been a disaster yesterday and today. I couldn't get in. I was in pre-market both days, and here it is. thinkorswim is down again, still broken. These guys are doing a class action lawsuit. I'm not surprised, because yesterday it was down for hours. And people are, what would be a good alternative to thinkorswim? This really wasn't to bash them. My intention was to come out over the weekend with my new account and compare them side by side, because I didn't know what I was going to find. I figured I'd find some differences. I wanted to give them a shot, but the stability lately has been terrible. They've had problems late in March too, and they had problems in January, big problems. A lot of YouTubers were talking about how they couldn't cancel orders, or they canceled orders and it would come back minutes later as filled and things like that. They couldn't trade off the open, all that stuff. I don't know. We don't have that problem at Active Trader Pro and Fidelity. The platform's been amazingly stable. So I'm going to wrap it up with that. I hope that was convincing. And if you're with TD Ameritrade, and the thinkorswim platform, I just want to let you know, I hope you realize you don't get all the information that at least some other people are getting. Maybe, not every level 2 on every broker is as in-depth as Fidelity's, but I'm pretty happy with it. I wouldn't want to scalp without the best information possible, and I just don't see it right now in thinkorswim. I just don't see it. So here's 2 bids on NASDAQ, one last peek. Facebook, there's 2 bids. 263.96, there it is, and then there's one right below it, 263.94, and it's nowhere to be seen. And there's another one. There's another NASDAQ at 263.93. So you guys don't have anything until 263.92. So that's it. I'm going to wrap it up. Thanks for listening to me ramble. TD Ameritrade thinkorswim users, I feel your pain. You should have access to a stable platform. You should be able to buy and sell stocks when you want. They have TD Ameritrade has $1 trillion in customer assets. I looked it up yesterday. I want to say, like, how big are they? They've got the merger going on with Schwab soon, so that's a big deal. Their platform's not ready for new customers. They need to get this thing stable and up and running before they bring God knows how many Schwab customers into the fray. I know they're going to do an integration and that kind of thing. They have 11 million customers of their own, I found out. So they got a lot of work to do. But that's it. I hope that helps some of you, and at least you're a little bit more informed with what you're dealing with. And I will wrap it up. So be careful out there. These markets are crazy. The volume's a lot lower these last couple days. It's been tough. I've struggled a little bit. It's just the relative volume on the stuff I've traded is like cut in half. SPYs too, SPY. It's a little bit thinner. There's a lot more algos and high frequency kind of play in there just to kind of run our stops and stuff. So play some good defense. But with that, I will talk to you guys next time. Take care.